pleasing was it, the impact of the new signings at the weekend?
No, it was fantastic for us. You know, it's one of those challenges when you get new faces in the team that you're hoping that they fit in well and they do that quickly. But I think you see from the game, in particular the first half, they just smoothed right into the team. Done a great job for us. They added to the overall performance. So very, very pleasing. And again, we've just done a session on field this morning, and once again, great, fantastic.
Is it a surprise, perhaps, how quickly they settled down? Would you get, given the experience and the quality there, would you expect that?
No, I think that's down to obviously the challenges of recruitment, and when you're recruiting players, you're looking at that personality and character, and if you know a little bit about them, then it makes a difference. And we knew these guys would come in, but as you said, to come in straight into the team and perform like that, then it's been a dream for us in that first game, and again from the training pitch to the next few games, hopefully that grows as well.
What are you hoping guys like Osman, Mark and Peter can bring to the squad over the run in there?
I think you mentioned that the experience is important. These are guys that have been there and done that, at different levels, and we're aiming for that promotion. We're looking for that championship, and we need players that can cope with that, and also pass that on to other players within the team as well. So that experience, the commitment, the drive, the aggression that these guys have got will help us in the running.
So you obviously academy director Andy Goldie just started going out. How important is it to bring through your own youth players as well as bringing in quality signings that you have, bringing those young guys?
No, it's very important. It's part of the club, it's part of the vision. It's now great to have Andy on board. I'm going to have a good chat with Andy on Wednesday night, but from a first team perspective, if we can have a conveyor belt of young players coming through the club, then it's great for us. It adds that energy, enthusiasm, and again, it's a pathway that you potentially sell players for the club as well. So, to have that pathway structure in place, an important link with the first team is really what we want.
Boss and obviously Cammy Smith mentioned the fact that there's feels perhaps as leaders there. Was that something you think that was missing in the pitch maybe previously? The fact you've got a squad full of leaders in the dressing room now?
Yeah, I think we've got a great group of boys. First and foremost, a really, really good group of boys who work their socks off every day in training. I think we needed to add that experience, but you mentioned the word leadership. It's important that we need that on the pitch, and again, I think you can see that from the game at the weekend. When things are tough, then we've got these guys that can bring the players together, but also guys that can do things in the dressing room for us. They can speak to young players. But leadership, going into these 13 games is going to be massive for us, and certainly these guys will bring that to the table.
It's a new era for the club, Gordon. How does it feel to be part of that? How excited are you?
For me, when I got the opportunity speaking to Robbie, it was a no-brainer. I've been 6 years away in the MLS, which was an exciting adventure. To come back home to Scotland and speak to Robbie, who's a top manager, but also to speak to the people within Dundee United Football Club and their vision for going forward. Then it's it was really exciting to be given this opportunity. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
So you bring the stateside experience. What do you bring to the role in general, do you feel?
I think I'm obviously coming in to assist Robbie and on all his needs. I love being on the training pitch. Love working with players. Love working with younger players. Love looking at the development of younger players and integrating them within the first team. But I'm here to support Robbie in any way he needs, and hopefully I can bring that alive for him on the training pitch as well as match day. And
you've had dealings with a certain Stephen Gerrard, is that right?
I have, yes. He played in the MLS along with a few other players from the UK, but he had as you can see what he brings to the table, but he's a fantastic attitude in the MLS. He looked the player at LA Galaxy. You could see that he worked with the younger players, within that environment. But he was one that certainly added to the league, and just with that experience and his presence was, it was a pleasure to watch him and obviously try and play against him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting your wits against somebody of that standard.
It's great. You've got players like him, within that league. David Villa, Ibrahimovic, Ashley Cole was at LA Galaxy. Within Vancouver we had, a few UK-based players as well. But Johnny Russell, across from Scotland, who's been magnificent in the league. He's settled in really well at Sporting Kansas. So it's great to see these players come across, because it's a difficult league. There's a lot of travel. But they're certainly making their marks, and again, when you're playing against these guys, it was, as a coach, it was excellent just to try and work out the best ways to stop them or play against them.
Obviously, the main target is to get back to the Premiership. How important, though, is a Scottish Cup run?
No, you mentioned that the Premiership is a key focus for us, but the history of the Scottish Cup, through the club as well, it's massive for us. We're taking this game very, very seriously. It is a break from the promotion race, but it's an exciting game for us. The players train well today. We're about to do another training session. We're preparing well for the game, but we feel it's a game that we've got an opportunity in, and we want to have a good run in the cup, because it's part of the history, and it's part of the players are really looking forward to that. Dundee
United's challenging for the title, St Mirren struggling in the Premiership. Will that have any bearing on the game, do you think?
No, I don't think so. It's a break, as we say, from the sort of league bearings. St Mirren's got a few new faces in. Obviously, we brought a few new faces in as well. But it's a challenge that we need to look at and we need to overcome, because that's where we want to be. So it's important that we put our weights against teams like St Mirren, and this is a great opportunity for us to do that. But it'll be an exciting game, but it'll be a very, very difficult game, because they are a good team with good players as well.
Would St Mirren go into this one as favourites, do you feel?
I think if you're putting it in leagues and where they are, then of course they'll go into the game as favourites. But again, we're really looking forward to it. It's away from home. Yeah, they're in a different league from us, so you could say that. But I think they'll feel it'll be a difficult game as well. But it's a real interesting one for us, because it's the teams that we need to try and match and obviously beat.
It's a team you may well face again later in the season.
It is, yeah.
Things go on.
No, it is, and that's a challenge as well. So it gives us a little opportunity to see how we fare, see how the game goes, and what we might need to improve on or change going into these more difficult situations. In that sort of league playoff, promotion is what we're aiming for. But as you said, it might come down to one of these fixtures, and one of these teams that we might play against. So it'll be good.
Yourself and Lee McCulloch have come into Dundee United. Is that the backroom staff completely out of Canada?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably out with my remit, to answer that question. But Lee coming in is massive for us as well. His experience through playing, management, and also his position specific, stuff that he's doing with the players is great. So it's an honour to work with someone like Lee, and obviously to get the chance to work with Robbie as well. So it's it's a good group that we've got in there, and we're hoping we can work with the players to get the results we want.
And does Laurie Ellis still fit into this backroom staff?
Again, it's probably out with my sort of remit to answer that. And I think the club will be dealing with what they need to do in those kind of scenarios and situations. So apologies, I can't answer on that one.
Okay, on Saturday there was 5 of the new signings out there on the park. Yeah. Any particular one stand out?
No, I mean, I'm not going to say one of them. They were all good for us. Obviously, they played different roles within the game, but I just think the feel of having these guys in, it just gave us a little lift. It gave us a little bit more aggression, leadership, and structure. But the key thing for me is it creates competition. It creates good competition within our squad. So guys that maybe were left out or didn't play, now have to fight the guys that are in there. They've got to keep their jersey. So overall, great bunch of guys, and we've now got a real good bit of competition going into these last 13 games, which is important.
And there has been some leavers obviously that have gone out of Canada over the period. Is there still a separate group training at Gussie Park? Is there still there?
Again, we look at training on our needs and numbers and our preparation for the opposition. So sometimes we have to have a certain group to make those numbers, and then we'll deal with the other group. And again, that's purely down to preparation and what we need to do on the training pitch, and obviously into the match at the weekend. So there is sometimes different groups training.
I was going to ask a little bit about Fraser Fyfie. He seemed to struggle a wee bit when he came on Saturday there. Is he a wee bit below match fitness? Is it good that you've got cover from Gomez, Butcher and Harps and things now that can maybe get him up to full speed? Yeah, no, I think it's good. There's competition for places. I think in the past Fraser's obviously had a few injury problems and issues that he's done fantastically well to overcome and get him to a certain level. No, he's been training well, he's been playing well, and again there'll be rotation within that position in particular. And for me, he's always ready to come in there, and he's quality. He's a quality player.
From your time in America, Gordon, you can see obviously Celtic and Rangers now signing American players.
That's right, yeah.
Get the lad away to Moe as well. What likes the quality over there for Europe for young players come through?
No, I mean it's good. You know, Rangers have signed the boy Polster, Celtic signed the boy Gutman. Obviously we've got Ian Harkes that's coming. I remember watching Ian coming through the college system, and then he obviously played with DC United. You know, all MLS clubs have got full-time academies now. There's a pathway for the college system, but there's a pathway coming through the clubs. So the league is full of younger, more quality players. In my spell in Vancouver, we sold a young player, Alphonso Davies, to Bayern Munich. I don't know if you know about that, but we sold him for $22 million to Bayern Munich. So, you know, that league now is a sort of ground where European clubs are looking, and you know, if the clubs have the opportunity due to work permits or anything, you know, there's a lot of good young players and good players out there that in particular should be, you know, breaking out in European clubs.
There's a lot of talk about referees in this country over the last few years. Is there a difference, a standard? You notice a different standard in Scotland to your time in MLS? Is there any differences you've noticed?
It's different. Obviously they're trying to continue the referee development in the US. You know, we had the VAR system in every game, so you know, I think we were in America was one of the first countries to introduce it and try and deal with it. So it did have its ups and downs. So there is differences in the games and stoppages in the games, and how referees are supported, you know, within the games. And then obviously the development of the American referees might be a little bit different from the, you know, the UK game with the Scottish referees. But you know, in certainty that VAR did work in the country eventually.
What's your opinion on VAR coming to Scotland?
I had some, you know, we had some good times with it, and we had some bad times with it. But it's, you know, it was basically there for these important calls, these big decisions in the games, and you know, sometimes it went for us, and sometimes it went against us. There was a little bit of an issue at times on the game stopping, you know, for a little bit too long, and then reviewing it and then coming back. But you know, a lot of them were teething problems. But if there is anything that can help officials and help get those big decisions right, then it's something that's got to be looked at. Obviously, finances, resources, and how that's put together in all the stadiums is, you know, is another question. But if it can help the game, then I'm all for it.